answered and said, "It is the Moabitish damsel that came back with Naomi out of the country of Moab. And she said, I pray you let me glean and gather after the reapers among the sheaves." So she came and has continued evening from the morning until now, that she tarried a little in the house. Then Boaz said to Ruth, "Hearest thou not, my daughter? Go not to glean in another field, neither from him, but abide here by my maiden." So we're gonna continue on to wait. Story of Ruth. We're gonna continue on to let's see. We're gonna go to verse 3. I'm in chapter 3. I'm sorry. And I'm gonna summarize basically what happened. Ruth proved herself to be a hard-working woman. She proved herself to be a submissive woman, and she proved herself to be a quiet woman. And Boaz was acceptive of her in his land. So we're gonna read, and Ruth decides that she would like to submit herself to Boaz and become his wife, but she is unable to do so. She doesn't know how to go about doing that. So we're gonna go into what happened, how Ruth submitted herself to Boaz. It's very windy today. And I probably should have brought somebody out here with me. But you know, sometimes people really don't know how to hold a camera. You know, when you look at a video and you watch the video and people are not conscious of the audiences in the video. The video to the ground, and they look up at the sky, and they show what they're looking at, and they go left and right. Some people really don't know how to handle a video, or make a video. So I decided to trust nature and let nature take over and hold the camera for me. But anyway, Ruth, chapter 2, verse 22, as we go into chapter 3. As we go into chapter 3, that didn't even work. Okay. And Naomi said it to Ruth, her daughter-in-law, "It is good, my daughter, that thou go out with his maiden, that they meet thee not in any other field." So she kept fast by the maidens of Boaz to glean unto the end of the barley harvest and of the wheat harvest, and dwelt with her mother-in-law. Chapter 3. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said it to her, "My daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee?" In other words, this is what I was saying in my previous video about women. And you know what? I would like to take this opportunity to clarify something. I may have left my previous video incomplete about the economic video about women coming out of the workplace and going back into the home. And in order for us as a nation, us as a people to climb up the economic ladder with the help of YHWH Elohim by following his ordinances, his statutes, and his commandments, and following the Hebrew way. The Hebrew way is that the woman works in the house. The woman stays at home while the man goes out and brings home the funds that support the household. And let me add to this. I don't mean that our women today in this particular generation need to quit working if you have no other visible means of supporting yourself and your child. By all means, continue to work. But by all means, if you are serious about leading your family into righteousness, if you're serious about pleasing YHWH Elohim, we must teach our daughters how to be housewives. Before we teach our daughters how to be CEOs, before we teach our daughters how to be corporate executives, before we teach our daughters how to be businesswomen, before we teach our daughters how to attain financial success, it makes no sense for a woman or for our daughters to learn the trade of a man. It makes no sense for our daughters to be rich, and when they're rich, they're single. They have no man at home, they have no husband to depend on, they have no covering, they have no head. So we must teach our daughters how to be wives first, before they are to be CEOs, before they are to be politicians, before they are to be ahead of anything. First, I'm going to get into that. As we get into the video, but I wanted to reiterate, I wanted to add to that economic aspect of the video that the key to our economics is our women need to go back into the house and support the house, and our men need to be responsible men as far as keeping the AKA cash flow, or being able to support your wife and support your children. If you can support yourself, you should be able to support a woman standing next beside you. If you can support yourself, you should be able to sacrifice for your children. So it makes no excuse for you to be a man having income and the mother of your children living somewhere else away from you. That is unacceptable. That is not acceptable in the eyes of YHWH Elohim. That is not acceptable in the eyes of any real man. Okay? But anyway, let me get back to Ruth. And as Naomi told Ruth, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? Why are you working so hard? Get you a husband. Rest at home. Let the husband take care of you. And verse 2, now is not Boaz of our kindred, in whose maiden thou wert. Behold, he winnoweth barley tonight in the threshing floor. Wash thyself, therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy remnant upon thee. Get thee down to the floor, but make not thyself known unto the man, until he shall have done eating and drinking. Okay, I'm gonna fast forward to verse 8. And it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid. Okay, let's go to verse 6. Verse 6. Verse 5. Let's go to verse 5. And Ruth said unto Naomi, all that thou sayest unto me, I will do. In other words, Naomi told Ruth, go submit yourself to Boaz. Go submit yourself to Boaz. And Ruth said, okay, unto all that thou hast said it to me, I will do. And verse 6. And she went down unto the floor and did according to all that her mother-in-law bade her. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of corn. And she came softly, quietly, and covered his feet, and lied herself down. And it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid, he was startled, and turned himself. And behold, a woman lay at his feet. And he said, Who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thy handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thy handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman. And she said, Blessed be thou of Yahweh, my daughter, for thou hast showed more kindness at the latter end than in the beginning, inasmuch as thou hast followed not young men, whether poor nor rich. And we get into verse 4, and when Ruth, Boaz and Ruth got married. Okay, so we can see that the woman goes to the man. We could also see that the woman submits herself to the man when they get married. And we're gonna go forward to another story. I'm not gonna read the story, but I will give you scriptures for you to read yourself. Go to the book of Esther. And in the book of Esther, verse 1, chapter 1, verse 10, and read all the way through 10 through 15. In the book of Esther, we have a king, and the king has a wife, or queen, by the name of Vashti. And the king calls his wife, but Vashti be rebellious. So the king decides to put away his wife and acquire another wife. And so he calls all the maidens, all the women, all the young women in the town of which he is lord over. And he basically let out a decree that he is seeking another wife, another queen. So Esther, who's under the authority of an uncle by the name of Mordecai, prepares herself for the king. And when the king calls her, let me go ahead and read the scripture right here. Verse 2, after you read chapter 1, verse 10 to 15, I would advise you to read all of chapter 1. And then you go into verse 2, and then you will see, after these things, chapter 2, verse 1, after these things, after these things, with the wrath of the king Ahasuerus was appeased, and he remembered Vashti, and what she had done, and what was decreed against her. Then said the king's servant that ministered to him, Let there be fair young virgins sought for the king, and let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan the palace, to the house of the women, to the custody of Haggai, the king's chamberlain, keeper of the women, and let their things for purification be given to them. So we see, fast forwarding to verse 15. Now, when the time of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, had taken her for his daughter, was come to go in unto the king, she required nothing but what Haggai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the woman, appointed. And Esther obtained favor in the sight of all them that looked upon her. So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus into his house, into his royal house, in the 10th month, which is the month Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. And the king loved Esther above all the women, and she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins, so that he set the royal crown upon her head, and made her queen instead of Vashti. So, when you read the story of Esther, you're basically reading the story of command. When your husband tells you to do something, you go do it without question. When a man who is an authority figure over you commands you to do something, you do so without question. Being that man is the man and you're quiet on him. So, I'm gonna cut this short. I was going to get into the example of the Messiah. With the Messiah,